What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We got a fresh tune in from Malone for the TDI swapped Tacoma. But before we get in and load up that map, I want to go through all the piping and see if we can find a boost leak. It does sound like we got a boost leak of some sort. I'm really not sure where it's coming from because everything really is brand new. So I'm not really sure. We got to dive into it and figure out if we do have a leak. A lot of people were saying it could be a pre-turbo exhaust leak, which the only connections I have pre-turbo is where the turbo bolts on to the actual head. It's a one-piece turbo and manifold, so where it bolts onto the head, that is the only connection. It's got brand new gaskets, brand new bolts. I really doubt it's leaking there, but we're going to dive into it right now, figure that out, and then we got a map to throw on it, test drive it. Hopefully we are building full boost. So what I got to kind of test and pressurize the system, I got some PVC caps here and then some tire valves. These are I'm just gonna drill a hole through the caps and just put one valve, and we're gonna cap. So what we're gonna do is pull the boot off here, and then we're gonna pull the one down here where it comes out of the turbo, and we're gonna basically pressurize the whole charge pipe system, intercooler, all the way up to here. Obviously this isn't gonna test the manifold or where it bolts out of the head, but we can eliminate any leaks out of here. So we're gonna pull the bottom off, we're gonna cap that, we're gonna pull this off, cap it with the Schrader valve in here, and then we'll just pump it up to like 30 psi and test everything for leaks. And this cap idea wasn't actually mine. I actually got this idea from Kyle Meister, I believe is his name. He's also got a YouTube channel. I'll link it if you guys want to check out his original video. So these ones they don't have really anything around the edges, so they're nice and smooth. We don't have to worry about that. Like I said, we're just gonna drill a hole in one of them and put a valve in. All right, we got the bottom capped there, and then we got the top capped with the valve. So I got the air compressor turned way down to like 35, 40 psi, and then we're just gonna check it with this, get it up to about 30 psi. You just don't wanna way overcharge the system. You might blow something up. So we're gonna get some air in it and see if we find any leaks. Well guys, I think I found a leak. It won't hold pressure at all. I hear air coming out down here somewhere on one of these joints here. So let me see if I can get this and kind of show you guys. You just pump it up like so, and then you can hear it. And just like that, it's empty. There's no pressure anymore. So I'm gonna go through, tighten these clamps up, see which one makes a difference. And these are all sized right. Everything is sized like it should be, so it could just be a loose clamp. All right, this lower boot right here was pretty loose and it was slid back, so you could tell when I was driving it, it was about to pop off. So tighten that clamp up, no more leaks. The only place it's leaking is this little cap right here. It's actually the valve. I drilled the hole a smidge too big, but we're up at pressure. You can see everything's pumped up and it's holding air. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna put this thing back together. We'll flash that new map on and go drive it. Hopefully it'll run better. All right, we're all back together, all sealed up, hopefully anyway, and tune is loaded up. Let's go drive it and see what she does. Out. Still a little bit cold. We'll give her a little bit of sauce, see if she builds boost. Ooh. There we go. That was a lot faster to build boost than ever before. That was about 25 pounds just in that little burst. I think we're onto something. And also I don't hear that boost leak anymore, so I think that loose clamp was the issue. There we go. There's some power. That was like 28 pounds. It almost felt like my clutch slipped, which I really hope it didn't, because that was an expensive clutch. Oh yeah, this thing builds boost way faster than it did. That's what I'm talking about. Well, we got to do a quick boost log from alone, so I'm going to grab the camera, switch it around so you guys can kind of see the speedo, and this thing actually runs really good. So to do these logs, we want to be in third gear and start at about, I don't know, 1800 to 2000 RPM or something. You can see my tach still is lagging, but you can see we're in third gear, about almost 2 grand. We're gonna hit start on group 11, and we're gonna give her the sauce. There we go. I haven't felt this clutch slip since that first time. I don't know if it was clutch or not. It was very faint, so this clutch is brand new and not broken yet, so I don't want to slip it, or you can actually screw your clutches up if you slip them before they're actually broke in. This thing actually does run pretty clean. I'll show you guys. There we go, that's full pedal to the metal. Not much smoke at all, actually runs pretty clean. guys, the truck is running really good. We got full boost, full power, so very, very excited about that. One thing I want to do before we end this video out is I want to pull this entire wiring harness out and loom it all, finalize it all, strap it up everywhere, and just make sure everything is good to go now that I know there's no issues in that harness. So let's rip this thing out. It should be pretty easy because I did do all those connections inside to kind of separate the main engine harness from the rest of the truck. So we should have no issues pulling this whole harness out. So let's rip it out and loom it. All right guys, harness is done. This stuff right here inside the cab, I'm gonna leave for now until I get the harness back in, and then I'll kind of tape it up and loom this. I just want to make sure everything underneath the dash is gonna be routed correctly. So like I said, I'm gonna leave that. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life is get all these big connectors through this boot, and I need this boot because it bolts into the firewall. You can see I didn't want a big hole, so that took me probably an hour just to get these wires and connectors through. I didn't unpin them from the connector, but you can see I pulled the connectors, these connecting blocks, out of the main connector, and it still was a bear with all these bigger connectors. So either way, we got it. Very happy about that. So we are ready to throw this thing back in. One thing I'm going to do, not right now, but in the future, I just took it all out to measure what I need. I'm going to kind of redo my positive cable. So I have a main cable here that went to the starter, and then I have another main cable that runs over to that fuse right there. If you guys remember, that feeds the glow plug relay and all the other relays here. You can see right here, so that big one is for the glow plug relay. These two go into the fuel pump relay and 109 relay. So what I think I'm going to do is grab like a 1/0 wire, run it from here to my starter, and then I'm going to piggyback from the starter and just go right up to that fuse box. That's actually what I did on that truck, but it's not a very big wire for the starter wire, so that's why I want to get a bigger wire. I just want to make sure there's enough power going through that to feed the starter and the glow plug relay, fuel pump relay, all that good stuff. So I think I'm going to do that. And one other thing I'm going to do is take another probably 1/0 battery cable, run it from the positive up to a bus bar, so that if I do put my winch on here, if I'm able to fit my winch with my intercooler, I want to be able to hook up power to that. Also, if I put, you know, an amp or a sub or anything in here, I want to be able to have enough power and not have like 4 or 5 cables coming off the batteries. So there'll be the main cable here, and then I'll probably run the winch straight off the battery, and that's really about it. All this other stuff we can run off the bus bar. You see this main power wire here for the fuse box. We can run to the bus bar, and there's this other wire that I believe is for the brake controller, which I'm not sure if I'll even need, but I'm gonna leave it all installed so that can all go to the bus bar instead of, you know, cluttering up this main positive cable. So let's throw the harness back in. We'll get that complete, bolt everything back on, fuel filter, all that good stuff. And then once we get in the new cable, new ends, the bus bar, all that good stuff, we will tackle that. Well guys, we are done 100% with the wiring. You can see I remounted that fuse box. Originally I had it mounted this way right here, but it ended up being a little bit shorter after I got everything loomed. So I just built a little bracket there, held in there nice and sturdy, and then also mounted the glow plug relay kind of down here out of the way. So everything's looking really good. I'm very happy I was able to use this boot, and it looks factory now. You can see wiring is routed up. That's the cam and crank sensor. They kind of had they have their weird own plugs. So we got that, and then run over, and this harness runs kind of behind this fuel filter setup down there, and then up to the glow plugs, all that good stuff. We are 100% done. Well, that's a wrap for this video, guys. Very happy. We got full power, full boost. This thing's running really good. I'm excited to see what kind of fuel mileage it gets. It should probably get around the same as the red truck. Those ALHs are known for getting a little bit better mileage than these PDs, but this one definitely has smaller tires. And without the flatbed, it's probably actually around the same weight with the 4 doors and that one having the flatbed. So I am curious to see what we're gonna get for mileage. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Go smash the thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.